Remember when I spent money on a bag of these at St. Vinny's? I got a whole bag of these. Hey, it's Care. Welcome to My Take at the Lake. So, if you remember, if you don't, if you're new here, welcome. Good to have you. You're not coming in the middle of a conversation. I will clue you in if you are new here. I go to St. Vinny's a lot. And one time I came across a bag full of brand new, still wrapped in cellophane, printer ink cartridges. And just prior to that find, I was on Facebook. I believe it was in Pam at the Paper Outpost's her Facebook group. One of the ladies had taken her own used ink cartridges, and she had her husband drill, I think that's what she said, she had her husband drill a couple holes in the empty cartridge, and she put it in a jar with some alcohol and just let it soak out the rest of the ink. And she posted a picture of some papers that she had dyed with that ink she rescued from her used cartridge. And it was that old-fashioned crank Xerox machine purple. It kind of, I don't know if you're old enough, it had quite a smell to it. You couldn't mistake the smell. And the purple is just, oh, it's just an awesome, beautiful purple. Anyway, that's what her dyed paper came out, and I just loved it. And I said, oh, how'd you do that? That's so cool. And she told me. And the next time I was at St. Vinny's, lo and behold, there was a bag of full cartridges. Oh my. So I bought it. It was $2. I checked. It does not fit my printer. It does not fit either of my mom's printers. So they're mine to play with. I will tell you, drilling them was not easy. And most of them are like this. They're solid black. And you can't tell. You can, I don't know if you can hear it. There's liquid. I can hear it. But in this one, I can't see it. I didn't know where to drill. I mean, I knew sorta where the ink comes out, that where it talks to the computer, and there's a cover on this, so it must be around here somewhere, right? So I just started drilling, and I'll have to say, I got my big girl drill out, my handy dandy DeWalt drill, and a real drill bit, and I I did it in my stainless steel sink because I knew it would be messy, and I just started drilling little holes, because I didn't want it to spurt out like a horror movie. You know, I had no idea what to expect. And nothing came out. Not a dang thing. So then I drilled into where it comes out, and that's how I found the spongy part. And I just started playing around, and I just made some marks, because there was a lot of ink, and it was really pretty. So then I drilled another hole, and I thought, well, kind of like when you open a can, you've got to open one side and then put a smaller hole in the other, or another hole, so that air can flow through and it'll pour out. I tried that, and it didn't. Holy smokes. Once I got the holes drilled, I just started, I was squeezing them like a lemon. Some of them were easier. Like this one's clear, and you can see there's the liquid right there, and it goes into the sponge. So if I could get to that liquid, well, that's where I want to be. So I would drill there, and then a hole on top so that it would come out. So then I put these in. I only did 3. I wanted purple, so I used a red, and there was only one blue in this whole big bag. There was only one blue. So I did the magenta, one yellow, and one cyan/blue. Once I got the holes in there, I put them in glass mason jars, in my sink, and I filled it with water to cover up the hole so that it would just sort of leak out. And I just let them set for a while. And then I put them in, oh look, I knew that was going to happen. Check me out. Oh, just the red. Anyway, there we go. Works with alcohol inks. I don't know if this will work. To try to get that off there fast with some alcohol. It's better, but looks like, oh yeah, a little elbow grease, a little alcohol, as long as you get it right away. There you go. Extra bonus tip. Don't tip your cheap, crappy spray bottles sideways. Bonus tip number 2. Anyway, and that's just alcohol, the 90%, because that's what I use to make my alcohol inks. Any alcohol would do. Anyway, back to our regularly scheduled program. Once they had soaked for a while, a few hours, when I was bored, tired of waiting, I just poured them in to these cheap spray bottles that I just happened to have, because I had Dawn spray at one time in this one, and lemon essential oil in this one with some water. So I used the blue and I mixed it with red to make a purple. And I see it's mostly blue. Way too much blue. Oh, and then I have a whole bunch of papers to show you, because then once I had them in the spray bottles, boy, I just went spray crazy, and I made a whole bunch of papers because it was so much fun to play. And the backsplash of my stainless steel sink and all of my cupboards, everything is white. So holy smokes, did I make a mess. But luckily it didn't stain anything. I just wiped it off. In fact, I didn't notice the backsplash. I noticed I got it up on the cupboards here and there right away, and I wiped that off, but didn't notice till the next day I had it all over the backsplash. Whoopsie. And it came right off even the next day. I wouldn't recommend going that route. I would, find a craft room and I don't know, do it someplace safer, but I didn't. That's what I did. Anyway, I just sprayed and had a good time and made a truckload of papers. I used the yellow and the blue, and I made green. So there's green in here. This is supposed to be purple, but you see that it's blue. That's right. It just mix a little pink in with it, a little red, and eventually you get purple. Anyway, so that's what I did with those inks. As you can see, I have plenty more to play with. I don't know if I'll do the same thing again and again. I don't know if I'll redonate them. I don't know exactly. As I was getting ready for this video and going through that bag, I found this. This houses several of those. And I threw it out. Well, I put it right over the garbage bin. Just right. And then I thought, oh, look at that. Nice. It's kind of interesting. That would make great for jelly plate printing and stamping. So I didn't actually let it go in the bin. I just hovered it over the bin, as you do in the world of junk journaling. So, as I said, I made quite a bit of a mess when I was making these, and this is my paper towel, my cleanup, my mop-ups. And I have seen Artie Mays do magic with, I think she calls it kitchen roll. And she just rolls, she has a nice big roll of paper towel, and when she's painting or doing her stuff, she just rolls her stuff over it instead of mopping it up like I did. But still, you end up with these fantastic bright colors and patterns, and this stuff it tears so beautifully, and then you get that nice torn edge to glue down. Oh, it's 2-ply, so look at there, 2 for the price of what? Look at all that, and check. Look at I've got rolls and rolls, rolls of it. But how fun is that? To make beautiful envelopes and glue them. If you're doing this kind of thing, I could do a whole book. Maybe that's what I'll do with this one. Instead of this one's just the natural colors, I could do a whole one. That might be this afternoon's mindless veg on the couch watch a movie project. That might just be. Look, there just keeps coming. And if they're all from the same roll, so they're all 2-ply. Oh, so I've got yards of this stuff with which to play. I can't wait. Oh, look. Scraps. Oh, look. Doesn't ever go to waste, right? So just a quick little gander at the pages I made. Again, I did this in my sink. I sprayed, I let it run. I sprayed this way and let it run down. Sometimes I changed direction and let it run a different way. And I tried to layer them. So when I sprayed this one, I put it down. And when I sprayed the next one or did whatever, I put it right on top so that they would get two-sided. Rotated them. Now, if you caught my little color theory short the other day, just a super quick, yeah, I'm using all 3 primary colors. Why don't I have mud? Because I'm not mixing them directly, and I'm not mixing them in equal proportion. You can see the pink, you can see the blue, and you can see the yellow. Where the yellow and blue meet, you're going to get the green. It could easily have gotten to be muddy because I am using all 3 primary colors, and I say that and point to something you can't see. Using all 3 primaries, you can get mud, but if you're careful, you can get colors that just sing. And that is always my goal, is to get colors that are... But you can also make glorious grays if you're doing watercolor and whatnot, knowing which colors make the grays that sing. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, all different kinds. These are some of my favorites. I just took a stack of them and sprayed the edges here and there, and then turned it and did another color, and then turned it and did a different color, and just let it soak in. Let it do what it's going to do. And that did both sides automatically because I was spraying in between the pages, and I really like how these turned out. So, and I always do my pages when I'm dyeing papers, or when I'm stenciling or stamping multiple pages at one time. I always do it this way so that when I'm ready, I can just fold it in half and my stuff is going the right way. That's a big deal for me. So I always do things this direction, have my papers horizontal, so that when I go to make my projects, I don't have any upside down or sideways stuff, because the sideways stuff makes my brain ache. I'm doing a video on that upcoming too. So many on the list and so little time, but you know what about time? We have all there is. We always have all there is. So I'll get to it. Some I did just one color, except where I set something down in it, but that's all right. This is kind of the color that lady had, the little bit lighter periwinkle. Super awesome. My favorite, these are very springtimey to me, very spring bright colors, which is a nice change of pace in this. We're now in the stinky part of winter. You know, Christmas is over and we still have 3 months left of this ice cold. It is bitter cold here this year. Whoop-hoo. Not a lot of snow, but dang. It's too cold to snow. Super fun. Anyway, you get the point. They're all different. This was the bottom of my mason jar got messy, and so I just kept swirling it until my mason jar was clean. This is that. It was leaking and spilling, and so I just did that, and it's all fair game, right? It's all fair game. And I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to tear most of them in half because I have a Mom and Me project going. There were a few videos out that showed us how to make, oh, come on. Showed us how to make a journal, just a nice little purse-sized notebook out of one 12 by 12 piece of paper. I know Pam at Paper Outpost has done it. Natasha at Treasure Books has done it. I believe Natasha's is the one that I followed to do this. But when you fold it, then you've got these beautiful little tucks. And when those are open, you have these beautiful little pockets. It's one piece of scrapbook paper, 12 by 12. Super, super easy. My mom is in this group. There's 20 members, 20 ladies meet at this group. And again, winter's cold and boring and dull. And so I went to town and I made 20, I'll be upside down, 20 of these journal covers. Yep, they're all upside down. Using all different kinds of scrapbook paper. Some are shiny, some are thicker than others. Really doesn't matter. And then I went to my paper stash and I just grabbed all different kinds of paper. And we're just going to fold them. Do a quick 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And then we'll probably decorate the covers a little bit like I did this one. I even put a little charm on the spine and a little bit of lace. I need something here. Something looks like it got torn or something. And it's not. It's just the music sheet sticking out. But I didn't leave enough, so it looks like it's jacked. So I'll have to find something pretty to stick there. Can you guess what it won't be? I did bring out some brights because I have the bright wrapping paper. I did bring out some of my food colored dyed paper and some colored scrapbook paper to use as pages. We're going to use a lot of these too. That's specifically why I did so many of these because holy Hannah, 20 of these little books, even just using 10 pages per, that's a lot of papers. And so I needed more paper, and this was just fun. So if you have a project or a group that you want to make a gift for, so what we're going to do, we're going to decorate the covers slightly. We've got a whole bunch of things to tuck in, little ephemera and whatnot, but I'm also going to put together a little Ziploc bag of goodies that they can decorate if they want to. We're going to stamp the pages and punch pages like I did with the mini journals for the Christmas tree that I just did. We're going to do all of that because who knows if they have stamps and or stencils and all of those things that Mom and I are going to do. And so again, it's a Mom and Me project. Mom comes over and she helped me tear up all the papers to get them to size and fold them and get them in. And we started, you know, picking out which pages we wanted with which cover. I'm glad we didn't sew any in though, because when we did that, I didn't have these. And now I have these, so we can add some more in. We got little Post-its to stick in, so inside the journal there'll be little Post-its. Mom got these cute little magnetic bookmarks so we can stick one in each book. Very, very pretty. Different designs. Fun from the Dollar Tree. Baker's twine. Cool. I'm going to use some of my Tim Holtz, the little snippets, because these are so tiny. Hi, bud. What you doing, bud? Anyway, that's what I have for you today. I encourage you, if you have extra scrapbook paper, by all means. They're so much fun to make. And so, mass making, I just I went through it and I went through my 12 by 12 stash and I picked out as wide a variety as I could find. And again, some of this paper is from that Tuxedos and Tiaras pad. It is so thick. It's 3 times as thick as some of the others, but that's all right. It doesn't matter. And then, have at it. The other thing that I found, we're going to add pages, is this giant piece of craft paper from an Amazon order. So we're going to tear up pages of these, and we'll have plenty then to work with. I have this pretty wrapping paper from Dollar Tree. I tore 1 or 2 for each of that. We have tags we're going to throw in here and there. So there's all kinds of things that we can stick in there to play with. And again, I used a wide variety of papers. My food coloring, the kids learning how to draw and write paper, miscellaneous paper, food dye, eco dye, music paper, graph paper, coffee dyed, anything you have. And I think the more eclectic, the better. Even though we know how I am all about matchy-matchy. There's a time for matchy-matchy, and there's a time for eclectic, and a time for everything in between. Love to see if you're going to do something like this. Tag me on Instagram. I do have a Facebook for My Take at the Lake, even though I'm rarely there. When I do show up, I'd love to see what you make of it all. Drop me a comment. Love hearing from you all. Got lots of comments on the woohoo 222 subscriber giveaway. Anyway, you have a lovely, lovely crafty day. If it's cold where you are, I hope you're warm and cozy and crafting so busily and heartily that you're staying warm. I'm gonna go love up my beastlies and get another hot cup of something and get to crafting. My Take at the Lake. Out for now.